All right. Let's get everything set up here. Let's see. One more. Oop, not there. We'll put it here. All right. All right. Okay, so we are working on a voice-controlled version of Battleship. You'll see the blue box up in the. Let's see. Let's increase the size of that so it can be seen. We'll just make that a nice big H2. Nice and big. Let's see, results received. Let's just make it result. Okay. We are leveraging, and you can see it's not very accurate. Let's see, hold on. Test. Now it doesn't want to behave for us. Test. What did I do that's upsetting it? Let's see what sort of errors we have. Let's get a refresh. Okay, let's give this a test. So the idea here is that in that blue box, everything I say, it's going to try to translate it through some speech recognition that is built into the Chrome browser. There may be some lag because of the streaming, but we'll do the best we can. Okay. So let's see. Okay. Let's quit a couple of these extra windows. All right. Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's see the speech. Let's call this the speech controller. Speech control? Speech. We call it the speech manager, or just maybe the speech manager. Rename the file the speech manager. Go into our app. I think it's our home at the moment, our home view. And instead of, let's see, home view, the speech manager. I started off with another project, and I just copied that project and then kind of forked it into this particular one. So that's where some of this extra stuff is coming from. All right, so now that I've replaced the progress bar with the speech manager, it should all render happily. We're no longer asking for a project bar component, but a speech manager component. Let's see. The speech manager, the speech manager, the speech manager. Yep. All right, there we go. So the blue box is the translation of what is the speech to text that the speech recognition API is giving us. The yellow box holds a 0 to 1 confidence rating on how well that translation was. So you'll see we're hitting a lot of 90s here, which is great. If I say something like B4, okay, that's 86. B4. Let's try again. B4. Right. So this will be difficult in some areas. C9. There we go, with a nice 98 confidence rating there. And then what we've done is we've rendered a grid, 10 by 10, no squares. Right now it's basically set as, what do we want to call those? Yeah, this is interesting. Hold on. I guess those are misses. I'm trying to think about the UI. Basically, we're making a battleship clone. So let's go ahead and, right. Now, some fun trivia. Battleship, what is it, by Milton Bradley? Is based off of another game, right? Battleship. Battleship is the Milton Bradley game, so Battleship is trademarked. But it's based on a game that was even earlier that I don't think was trademarked. It's called Salvo. It's the same exact concept, right? A salvo being the firing of the artillery, right? The firing of the guns of the ships. Each turn, each team basically taking a salvo, right? One player, then the other, which makes a little bit more sense than calling it battleship, considering you have like 5 different ships and only one of them is the battleship. But of course, Milton Bradley needed to, trademark and copyright that and whatnot. All right, so let's not call this battleship at all. Salvo. We'll call, and just a recommendation to throw out there for board game folks. Captain Sonar is a fantastic kind of version of Battleship that's a team versus team, where everyone has a different role on a submarine, and it's 2 submarines hunting each other, which is really cool. So that's a fun version of a Battleship. Okay, so let's see. Whatever, we'll just call it Voice of the Seas or something like that. Whatever, Voice of the Seas. Great. Then we have our speech manager, and our speech manager is going to sit up there with the translation of what we're saying in blue and the confidence rating in yellow. Then we're going to see our board game. And let's just get rid of this other stuff that is not actually part of this activity. The introduction, the conclusion, topic cards, JSON. Just going to clear out a bunch of other components and really get this just down to the basics of what we need. Save. Okay, cool. All right, test. Is we still working? It's not listening right now. You can tell, I don't know if you guys can see, in the tab in Chrome, there's a red dot that tells that the mic is on. Yeah, Nutella donut, you guys, right? Oh man, this translator it's trying hard. But so here's some examples. I think it'll be pretty easy when it comes to playing Battleship, right? Because we just have to give it these simple commands. You know, A4, D12, H1, H9, right? The one that kind of trips it up right now is B4 because there's a word before, and so I'm going to have to write an exception for that. And then I think I'd always follow it up with something like where there'd be like an affirmative command. So if I say yes, confirm, affirmative. Okay, all of those came in at 98% confidence. So the browser can tell what I'm trying to say. And so I think I'll use any of those. I'll use any of those. So what we want to do, let's reset our game board. Let's reset our game board. Let's just get rid of this circle, and let's just print out our coordinates. What was that about? How did it? Hold on. There it goes. Oh, we don't have alert danger. Let's set it back to, what happens if we do info? What does that change it to? Okay, that sends it to a blue. Warning's going to set it to a yellow. Danger to red. Success is green. It's interesting because for the UI of this, I want to use, green for a hit. Success. Battleship uses whites for misses, reds for hits. And so I think we're just going to have to come up with our own UI here using reds for misses and greens for hits. Yeah, I don't think I want to copy too much of that. Oh, that's a Q2 too much. That's funny. Okay. So, let's see. Basically what's going to happen is the speech manager is going to hear a command. If it's a legitimate command, we want to register that as a shot fired. Okay. All right. So let's put this together. What do we need? What do we want to keep track of in our state? And do I need to use the Vuex store, or can I do this all in a single component, a single view? I think I want to try it without the Vuex store just right now. If we need to do that, if we need to bring that in, that's fine. But let's just try to go with this. We'll use shots fired, turns taken. Sure. Turns taken. We'll start at 0. Right? We're going to have a method called do turn. And the result of that is turns. Let's see. This dot turns taken is going to increase by 1. In here too, we'll do a function for finding out if win condition. I guess there's not going to be a lose condition. This is a single player game. A different version of this, we could have. Here, let me scroll down so you guys can see that. A different version of this. Let's see. No lose condition. Okay. If win condition, yeah, and then that would be a different state, right? Is the game over, right? Okay. Well, we'll get there. We need to keep track of the shots fired. the coordinates, right? So, and in what order? So, I guess shots, not spots. Shots fired is going to be an array. Okay. And then do turn, and then I guess it's going to be this dot shots fired dot push, and then what? We're going to need like an X and a Y. I'm going to push that coordinate in there. I guess X is X and Y is Y. And then do turn is going to have to take an X and a Y. Okay. So there you go. You should be happy about that after it lints that. So every turn we're going to be rendering that. Let's get two more components up here on the screen. Let's do a shots fired component and kind of a shot list. How's that? And we'll pass in as a prop the list being this shots fired. Oh, we don't need this when we're in the template. It'll just be shots fired. Shots fired. Ooh, so shots fired is turns taken, right? We want to differentiate between this. Let's see. Let's get a nice. Let's do this. Div class. Let's look at our app. Is that where the container fluid is? This is using a router view. I don't know that we need that. We should probably just kill the router from here and just, yeah, we'll refactor that later. Let's do container fluid, so we're taking up the full width of the page. I don't know that we need a margin top. We're not using a header footer, so we'll close that. Save. All right. Okay. Close down our little Milton Bradley lookup. Okay. So our router view is just going to be pulling up our home view. Turns taken, XX. Oh, wow, we duplicated that. We didn't need that. Div class. So our container view is up in the app. So here we want to open with, I'm getting a little bit of lag here, row. Close down some more stuff we don't need. Div class, column, like an 8. And then that is going to hold our game board. And then we'll do class column 4. And then we'll put everything else in this sidebar. Well, let's just voice of the sea, so we don't need a conclusion, we don't need topic cards. This is just some artifacts we're going to clear out from the previous thing. Let's also I'm going to just hop into our game board for a second. Make these just a little bigger for right now. Okay. Let's go back over to home and see what the error is. Div row, we didn't close out the row. And I'm going to comment out those last two components I started to define because we haven't actually created them yet. Let's just get the game board to appear in our 8 column. We'll put our speech manager in our 4, because what's going to happen there is our shot count will also appear there and our shot list. Just a nice nice count of a nice record of the shots taken. Okay, oh, we got a few things. What's it? Oh, we closing tag. Okay, great. All right, that's a little bit easier. Let's look at game board for a second. It looks like I lost the alert. I guess we'll just put info back there for a sec, so it's nice and blue, right? And this would be this is what I'm thinking. Success for the green, and then I don't know, danger. Danger feels too much like you did damage, right? Like games, a lot of games, you use red for damage. So maybe I don't do green, maybe I do red. And I guess I could do white for a miss. Okay, well, let's check it out. What's primary look like? Primary, I think, is a darker blue. That might be good for just like the ocean, right? I think secondary is gray, all right? And then if it didn't have any class, it would just be white. All right, well, for right now, let's just make it a nice blue. We're looking at the sea. All right, voice of the sea. Okay, and then there we go. We got a nice little layout right there. We'll render out our shot count in div class. We'll just throw it in. Let me think. I guess that's what essentially alert is. Alert, secondary, and we'll just do turns taken, and then just show that, turns taken is the variable that will render out. And just close that div, and that should be a nice, there you go, turns taken. And then what do we got? We'll just do a nice div, and we'll name this, we'll give this a class as shot list wrapper. And then do a nice div v4 for shot in shots fired. Right? It's a div, and then what is it going to be? It's going to be what? Maybe like a p tag. I guess it's going to be a div per. So here, I think it's just going to be x, y. Oh, and the result, right? So x, comma, y, and maybe we do a class based on whether it was a hit or a miss. So what if we put it in a span class badge, and then what is it? BG success. Let's just try this. If it was something like this, and then close it off, span, and we'll just preempt this with shots fired. We'll just do x equals 0, y equals 1, and that'll be the default. What's it want? Oh, I need a key. The key, I guess, we'll just call it shot. And then what's it angry about? I need to close what? Oh, the shot list wrapper. Is that it? All right, so render. Ooh, that tiny little x, y shot. Oh, shot.x, shot.x, shot.y. Right? Okay, you see that tiny little 0, 1. That is very small. But then if it was, let's see, if it's danger, so it was a hit. No, let's try this instead. What if we, instead of a badge, let me do alert danger. What happens now? Okay, all right. What if we do this? What if we give it a nice margin bottom 1, and we do like a card body. Okay. Why is there no padding in the card body? Let's get rid of this. Here, and I'm just going to give us a couple more examples so that list turns into a proper list. Ooh, yikes, they're floating on top of each other. Why? Hold on, let's look at our game board for a second. Is our CSS not scoped? Is it bleeding out? No, it's scoped. What about the speech manager? I don't think I have any CSS there, no. So, oh, I think it's because they're, is it because they're spans instead of divs? Yep. I bet that's it. They just sit on top of each other. Can't give a margin, top and bottom, to the spans. I think that's the issue. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. All right. So what if we did something like this? Shot number, and we did like a shot. Oh, if we did, what is it, shot I? Like a shot count, right? And what that has to be is a parentheses. So it should be shot, something like that. Let's see what this looks like. Gosh, oof. Hold on, I'm getting a little. Okay, is it got, yeah. For some reason it's duplicating some of my stuff. I don't want this. Why is it doing this? Not shot space Y. Okay, if I just hit save, it should just lint. There we go. Okay, so there you go. Shot 0. Okay, so we need shot +1. The 0th entry in the array is the first. Shot 1, shot 2, shot 3. Perfect. So we have our shot list. We have our shot XY. And then the alert danger is going to be a bound. It's a conditional class. So let's see. It's equals : object. And then it'll be alert danger if shot.hit is true. What's it going to be? Comma. Alert. I guess I'm just going to put it secondary. That's going to be our miss color where it turns gray. Shot.hit is not true. And I think just the close curly bracket, hit save, and we'll let the lint renderer format that. And then either yell at me or there we go. Great. Okay. So when we submit a turns taken, we don't need to keep track of the numeric, like the number, is it's the first shot, second shot, etc. That we're gonna know that by the index in the array. But we will need to know hit is either true or false. And so I'm gonna say hit. Oh, it's gonna be up here. Sorry. For our starting data, hit :true, comma hit false, and then hit true. Okay, if I hit save, that should make it red, gray, red in our list. As I wait for it, there you go. Perfect. Okay, so we have our little shot list. And we can refactor all of this into a component when we're ready. Turns taken can also get into a component. Here, let me just see if I can drop a little shadow there. If that helps it pop out a little bit more. There you go. Ha! Nice little shadow effect. Just drop one here as well. Game board, class, shadow. We'll leave that. But we'll get our speech manager. Card body, and shadow. Right here, just so it all sort of pops out a little bit. Okay, it's taking its time with the linting. Okay. Cool. Cool. Okay. Well, I guess next thing, we now set our little speech. You know what? I'm going to turn off our speech manager for a sec. I'm going to turn off our speech manager for a sec just so it's not taking up the browser's browser resources just for a minute while we work on our game board. So there's our axes, A through J, 1 through 10. I could use numbers, but I'm going to treat the X and Y values the same. They're going to be strings, and I think that'll help to stay consistent with the variable types. So what I have here is just 2 for loops. I'm printing out X and Y. What I want to is, before I print out, here, let's see if I can do this. Div class. And instead of it being a border or border secondary or alert, I don't have to worry about. I want this to print the, is it the Y value? Will that have a print down the side there? What am I thinking? That I'm printing. Right, good. That's exactly what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted. I want to vertically align that though. I'll get to that in a second. And then what I want to do is also print up at top. So I'm going to copy the same. I'm actually going to have 3 for loops. This top one is just going to be, is that what I want? Yeah, I guess. With an empty, with a placeholder first. So that's just going to be here. And I'm just going to put placeholder so you can see that. X, and I close the div. And this is going to be the letters that go across the top. It is a square. It has no border. I don't need the background. Save. So I should now see a placeholder. Okay. Ooh, not quite what I wanted. What did I miss here? I think I missed grid row. All right, because I'm creating div class grid row. And I go like this, and I go like this, and I hit save. Placeholder, A through J across the top, as soon as it's done, and then updating. There you go. Okay, there we go. And now I want those a little bit closer, but there we go. So we're going to get rid of the PH. We'll leave the placeholder div there. Cool. Let's see. Yeah, you guys can see all of that. A through J, 1 through 9. Excellent. So I don't necessarily need to do this. Cool. There's our grid. I could put little question mark icons, but I feel like that's going to be too busy. So I wish I had a little hit icon. Let's see. Okay, so for this square, I'm going to need to pass into this this is going to need a, okay, so right now alert primary, which is what's giving it the background of blue, is set all the time. Instead, I want to, just like we did with the shot list, I want to bind it oops, sorry, we're going to do colon class equals, and then we're going to come up with a number of different things. And it's going to be alert. When are we going to do alert primary? When are we going to do alert danger? And when are we going to have alert secondary, which is our miss, which is our gray. Okay, so if I hit save here, that should, it's going to run through the linter and then should format nicely. Okay. So now, let's see, this should change them all to red in a moment. There we go. And now I'm going to set only when the x values equals C. So this should be just like a red column, and then the other two sides of this would be the unexpected expression. Why didn't it like that? Unexpected. Oh, oops. It needs to be the single characters, not the double. Sorry, the single quotes, not the double quotes. This should do it. It's gonna hit save. It's gonna run the linter. There we go. And boom. There we go. And then I guess we'll turn on. Let's see, when y is 3, and let's see what that looks like. Okay, there's our gray list, and then I guess we'll turn on primary for everything else. Bam! All right, cool. We have some conditional coloring now. Let's see. So now we need this stuff to come in through, I guess, the props. The props is going to be the shot list, right? Shots fired. I think we're just going to call this the shot list. Shot list. Shot list. It's going to be an array. Okay. Great. Let's drop over the whole. Here, let's drop a card body over the whole board just so we get that. And let's wrap that in a shadow. I just wonder if we make the background of this page a little less white. We need, let's do a margin, like a margin 3 around the whole thing. And I guess we'll shrink. I need to redo the grid later so it's a little bit more responsive. Do an actual grid layout so they're not just hard-coded at 80 pixels. Let's take it down to 70. Okay. So I don't think that's bad. What are they? Flex, and then what? Why is the bottom here? Oh, not margin, but padding. I don't really care so much about the margin. Let's get some padding in there. Okay, let's maybe do a padding 5 and change the 70 maybe to 75. That looks good. That looks good. Okay. And then maybe when we go back to, I'm just thinking, I'm going to go here to our public folder, to our index for a second, and our body. Add a class of what? BG. Let's just try BG dark for a second so it's not quite so bright. I don't know why it's such a bright page on mine. Do we have a BG dark? Is that a thing? Oh, it is. Yikes. But now it's too dark. BG secondary. That should maybe make it. Alright. You know what would solve for the game board? Card body. I'm surprised that it's so... Oh, because card and card body, I didn't leave a space there, because it should be, there we go. Cool. Alright, this is better. This is not quite so much brightness that I'm looking at. Alright. So, what do we do next? Let's go back up to our home view. Let's delete our about view. We're not really doing anything with that. I'm actually thinking, let's go to our app view for a second and just do a nice script. Hold on. Let's do this import here. Just copy this, bring this over here. Script. And we're going to import main. I guess we call it home. Home. From source, views, home. Let's call it in component home. This is app. And instead of the router view, I'm just going to hard code in home. And get rid of this game board declaration. And just like that. What do I have to do here? What does it know about? Let's go to our router for a second. Let's just delete our entire router. I don't want to make a multi-page game. And let's go to our main.js and strip the router out of this project. We are not using a router. I don't even know that we're going to use the store. I may. If it gets too wily trying to communicate between all these components, I may want to use the Vuex store. But for right now, I'm fine. And I don't even know that I need Axios. What API call am I doing? I don't think we're going to use Axios right now. Who knows? We may want the game to record some data later on. For right now, it's fine. Okay. So there, we've simplified our app. Let's go ahead and save this. Let's see. Working on game layout, shot list, game board, turns taken. Yeah, those are all the major components we touched. Cool. And let's get rid of some of these other components we're not using. Topic card, introduction, conclusion. Let's just delete them. We're not using them. Let's get rid of them. CSS, data. Let's get rid of this extra data that we're not using. Delete. Let's see what's happening in our source. Nothing there. Our views, home, app. Okay, that's cleaner. We have a speech manager and a game board. All right. Let's go ahead and commit removing unused files and send that on up. Cool. Actually, I'm going to do something here. I'm not going to do BG. Let's do BG primary. Let's get a nice, like, blue background. Ooh, that might be a little bit intense. What is BG? Oh, I bet if we do alert, that'll be a muted blue, just like we have for the game board. It would be fun to have, like, a textured. Yeah, I'm not really feeling Battleship with this color scheme right now, but that is fine. It would actually be fun to do like a. We'll get it working, and then we'll look at some Bootstrap themes and see if there's one that feels like, you know, commanding a ship or a submarine or something like that. Something that fits the theme a little better. For right now, I will go back to the BG secondary. Yeah, that's fine. And we can also find a more kind of military or navy font. That actually, gosh, that might really help too. Fonts.google.com. Let's see if we have a navy thing here. Let's go to let's share the browser screen. Okay, let's see. Let's just search fonts. Let's see if there's a navy. No, that's not what we want. What if there's a military one? This military stencil. That might be nice. Let's see. No, it's from an external. Oh, but a stencil is a great idea. Let's see if we have sentence types of. Let's see. Not battleship. Voice of the seas. Let's see. Do any of these really speak to me? Let's see. Is this available? I'm not really loving this. Sure, this is fine. This is fine. Yeah. Link to this. Open up. Okay, we're already here. So we already have font. I actually want to. I can combine this, can't I? So I've already got the stencil. What do we have? Select style. Is there more than one style? Is there like the different weights? Oh, here we go. Nope, that's not what I want. Oh, there's only one. Regular 400. Okay. But let's add another font as well. So we're already using Open Sans. I guess we'll use that. I'm not loving Open Sans right now, but I mean, it's fine as a whatever. I was using 300, 400, 600. So 300, 400, what is it, semi-bold, 600, and then bold for 700. Great, in here, we'll replace our line here to bring in both fonts. Cool, that's everything. And then we will go here into our CSS. And we'll split it now. So that's going to use app, but then we're going to use our H1 and H2. We'll just do it for our headers, I think. So that's going to be sans serif. That's fine. And if we do this, voice of the seas, that is not the stencil. Oh, it fell back on cursive. Hold on. What's going on? There we go. Because it hadn't loaded. Voice of the seas. I wonder if there was like a pirate font. I guess we'd go pirate. No, because the theme of the Code Jam is bad clones of games. So we'll stick with the modern military idea. Let's go to our app, home. Let's go up here to our H1. Let's give it a class of, what is it, text uppercase? Or is it just the uppercase class? Let's see. Was it text uppercase? Yeah, okay, text uppercase. Give that a nice dum-dum-dum. let's do this. Let's wrap it in, let's see, a card body. I mean, essentially that's an alert, right? Let's just see what it looks like here for a sec. Yeah, let's do more of an alert secondary, I guess. What we're going to want to do is, yeah, that's better. It's grayish. Let's give this a margin top 3. So, okay, so now we have margin and kind of the consistent margins all around it. Oh, but with this class, the default H1, let's do a margin 0 so that there's no, there we go. Voice of the seas, voice of the seas. This got to be something more like the command or the Triton's command, right? Poseidon. Ooh, yeah, sure. Poseidon. POS, i.e. POS. POS. EIDON. Poseidon's command. Cool. Let's go ahead and just comment, put these into GitHub. We have added a header font. Rename the game. Just make a note of that. Cool. So we got a font there, and then the nice thing with that is, let's go to our styles for a sec. We can also carry these over into the .h1s, the .h2s, the .h3s, because we can do things like this. If we go into our home, and let's do this for a second. Div class card, and then div class card header, and then we close that out, and we open up another one, div class card body, and then we close that out, and then we close out the card, and we save. That should format appropriately. And then we take turns taken, and we put it in the card body. We take the title turns taken, we put it in card head. We get rid of what we had here with the sec. Ooh, that was the entire project just deleted. Ha! Get rid of that. We slap a shadow on this card. Good, and we slap a margin bottom of 3 on it. And now we give it the class of H3. And now turns taken, yeah, is that nice? And we want to do a text uppercase. I could write a CSS rule that just makes all H1 through 3s uppercase, but I do like the granularity of going in here and just making a mention. I'm wanting this the H3 style. I'm also wanting text uppercase, just more stuff to demo in the video here. So turns taken, Poseidon's command, good. We also have the game board, good. The speech manager is currently hidden. And then the shot list. So here, we'll do the same thing, right? We'll do the same exact thing for the shot list. And this would be then an excellent candidate for a reusable component using a slot, right? Where you define the title, and then in the slot, you would put the slot in the body, so then you could put whatever other content you want in the body. That way, turns taken and our shot list don't have so much duplicate styling, you create one thing like a reusable card as the component. You create 2 new divs because we're adding the 2 up here. We're getting rid of the shot list wrapper. We're getting rid of that one. We're adding shadow. We're hitting save. It's going to format. Oop, what did I miss? Oh, I missed the card body. Div class card body. Because card header closes itself on the same line. Let's get rid of these 2 comments. Let's hit save. Are we still not happy? Let's see. This is good. This is good. That closes itself. That's good. I think we just need to get rid of 1. Okay. Turns taken. Well, it's not turns taken. It's we could just call it the shot list, I guess. Cool. All right. Okay. Well, let's see. Refactored style for turns taken and shot list. And I think right now those are pretty good candidates to break into components now. And the reason why is because we're going to get, right now, next step is getting into the logic, tying our voice command to our game board. And when I don't want all this extra stuff right here. So I think we will have, let's see, we'll have turns taken, and that's going to have a prop of maybe count turns. Yeah, we'll just keep it simple. Turns equals turns taken. And we'll just keep it all the same for what we have. That's fine. And let's create a nice little save as turns taken dot view. A nice little component. Turns taken dot view. We're going to call this, I guess, the turns taken. Turns taken. No, we'll not do because in a 2-player game, right? I could have the game board and then stats on either side. So this, while there is only one speech manager, the speech manager, that makes sense as a singleton. Turns taken could work for definitely a multiplayer game. So turns taken, we're not going to have any data. It will have 1 prop. Turns taken is going to be a number. And we're just going to render it out. We're not going to have any special styles. So we'll go ahead, clear this stuff out. There's nothing that happens mounted, computed, or... I mean, the one computed could be that we format it to add the commas. But I don't know that. Let's see. You really can't go into any... Nope, you can't. You can't. It's only a 10 by 10 grid. The most you could ever do is 100 shots. So there's no need for a comma. There's no special formatting. Let's go to our home. Let's grab all the content that we had for turns taken and paste it here. Save. That's it. Now, if we go to our home, we're going to import turns taken. Hold on. I think the video needs to... Oh, I just need to scroll down a little bit. There we go. Import turns taken, and register it. Turns taken, right? For components, it's always 3 parts. There's you import it, and then you list it as a component, and then you put it in the template. Always three spots. Okay. So let me Git add source for the turns taken, okay? Turns taken component. All right, that was our simple one where we're printing out just one prop, and we could see it working if we if we just change this value right here to 5, we should see the prop update in as soon as it's done. Saving, linting. Let me refresh. There you go. Turns taken 5. Now that turns taken 5. Let's do this. Let's do. I wonder if this would look better. Turns taken. If we go text center, what does this look like? Okay. Now what if here we give it a style of H1? Okay, there we go. And I'm just wondering, is it badge? It didn't like that. Okay, we're not going to do badge. Right, turns taken 5. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Okay, I'm going to do one more time. Styling turns taken component and just name. In our shot list, if we go down to no, okay, here we go. Right, we need to take what we did for turns taken and save as our shot list. And this just clear up shot list. Let's close the style, close the app, close the entitled. Here, we're going to take all this code, bring it over here to our shot list. Okay, now what did this need? Just shots fired. So instead of shots fired and it's an array, I think that's all we need. So I'm just going to save. I'm going to rename this shots fired. Okay. Oh, let's throw a text centered on maybe not the whole list. Let's just at least center the title of this. And then down here, under turns taken, we're going to go shots. Oh, it's our shot list. Shot list. Shots fired. Shots fired. Actually, just for consistency, I'm just going to call it shots list, shot list, shot list. Make this all the same. Props, homes, props, shot list, shot list. Right, okay, so we need to import it, shot list, and we need to list it in our components. It's already in our template. Save and render. There we go. So now that you can see in our template now, not shorter. Great. Git add source, right? The shot list. Okay. Refactored shot list into its own component. Okay. Git push origin main. All right. So we have our shot list. Returns taken. We have our title of our game. Awesome. And here, just for giggles, let's just see what it looks like if I center that. Might be nice to have a couple, I don't know, like SVG icons on the side or something like that. Poseidon's command. There we go. That's nice and center. Now, okay, does this totally lose its if I go wide? Yeah, and I bet if I go shrink, oh, it does. Shrink nicely. Okay, that would actually work on mobile. Cool. Actually, let me try this. Hold on. If I just go to small. So what would it look like on mobile? Not bad. Not bad. Okay. And we bump the other stuff down farther. Cool. I like that. Okay. In terms of this, let's at least center it, right? The game board. Grid card. It's a grid row. Oh, do I only have to do text center? Would that do it? Will that center the... No? Okay. I wonder if I can just justify content center. Oh, was it margin auto? Let's see, if I just do, what's it, grid? Let's see, dot grid, margin auto. Let's see if that does anything. Oh, that did it for the top part. Yep. Oh, I did it for, what, just grid row? No. Oh, it auto-filled. Okay, now if I do it for grid, will it do everything? Grid row, where's margin auto? Interesting, okay. Because of this display flex. I need to justify content center, don't I? I'm curious if I put grid row. I wonder if I just put justify content center. Yeah, that did it, justify content center, because it's already in flex. All right. And if I do it up there, will it move over it? There we go. So now it's going to be centered. Sweet. Okay, so I mean, that's a larger card than I want. And if we did it here, card body, instead of, does the game board not have? Okay. So the card is just filling up the entire section. And it will be, and that's fine. I don't care. This is looking just fine. Okay. Okay. So Poseidon's command, troops taken, shot list. Cool. Let's shrink that back to what we were looking at before. Awesome. Let me just say a second. Okay. Close that. Okay. All right. Oh, well, of course. Okay, so let's simplify our state information. The number of turns we've taken is directly related to our shot length. Sorry, shot list. So turns taken is a completely unneeded variable, right? Really what we want here is shot list on length. There we go. So that should change to 3, and as we add new shots, it'll just automatically update that. So that made that even easier, right? So now we have all of them in order. Okay. So now to turn on our voice command. Okay. Yeah, let me see. Hold on. I'm just going to make a note of that. Removed turns taken. Merged it with shot list. Okay. Basically, we need the function do turn is essentially take shot, right? Right. Now this game is one player, right? So It's really just going to take turn after turn after turn until the win condition is met. So let's not worry about that. Let's just let the player take shots. We're also not going to want. Okay, let's write some rules down on what is a valid shot. Do we care? Where do we care that? Does the voice command care about the state of the board? No. I don't think that is what we want. So do shot is going to get. What do we need to care about? We need to care about can you fire on the same spot? Hold on. Let's see. Okay. So we need to make sure you can't fire in the same spot twice. The voice command can register, and you can even give the affirmation that yes, you want to hit that place. But then the game board, in terms of number of shots fired and turns taken, it shouldn't register that you can fire on A1 twice. So can't repeat a shot. Right, and that's like, yep, can't repeat a shot. So we need to check. Let's, yeah, and really, we don't even need, our shot list is, yeah, we can totally do this without UX. Our shot list is pretty much the data that we just passed all the components, right? You pass the shot list to the game board. It's going to use the shot list to determine the coordinates of what's going to be blue, which is the undiscovered, or your reds, which are your hits, and the secondary, the gray, which is the misses. Oh shit, this is going to get real easy. So we pass the shot list to the shot list to render it out. Turns taken, speech manager, where's our game board? Right here. And we're going to put a nice, just pass in the shot list to the game board. Let's go into our game board and declare it as a well, it's already shot list. Okay, I don't know why that's already there. Maybe I already did that. Okay, so we're going to need, I think, a method. I don't think a computed's going to do it because we're going to need to pass in variables. So, yeah, I think a simple is hit, is miss, was shot. Was shot is too simple, right? This can't be a Boolean. This needs to be a was hit. Basically, you want to see is it in the shot list, and then if it is in the shot list, which one it was. So you could do one function that returned one of three things. So it's not a Boolean. So I guess you could just call it like hit state, right? And you're going to pass in an XY coordinate, and you're going to this dot shot list dot filter, and the shot list is going to be, let's see, so it's going to be shot arrow function X. Here, let me scroll down so you guys can see this. Scroll down here. X shot.x equals X, and shot.y equals Y. Okay, so that initial filter is going to give you a shot. So let shot equal, or even const because it can't change. If shot.length, you put a nice exclamation point there, then you return something like, I mean, this would be nice to declare something like, well, an enumerated value for the three different things. For right now, I'm just going to do no shot. And we do the primary if hit state of x, y. So if you're familiar with magic numbers are terrible, like basically just numbers in your code instead of variables. Like why is it set to 3? Why is it set to 4? Same thing with the string. That really should be, you know, a different type of thing than just a string. But for right now, that's fine because we are essentially doing a game jam, I guess you could say. And this would be hit, and this would be miss. The result of this function can only be one of these three things. So let's see, comma. Oh, sorry, it can't be the double quotes because the whole bound class thing is wrapped in double quotes. I guess I could escape it, but the single quotes is more consistent with what we're doing. Elsewhere, let's hit save. And now the whole game board should render blue. Great. Okay, and now if shot, let's see, return shot hit equals true. Or is it, hold on, I don't think it's a string. Equals true. Hit, colon, miss. And now we should have one miss and 2 hits on this game board. As soon as it's done rendering, right? Let's refresh. What did I miss? Home. Hit. True, false, true. Oh, shot is an array. Shot is an array. We are dealing with the 0th entry of that array if we've made it this far. Shot.x equals y, shot.y equals y. That should get down. What am I missing? Here. Let's do a hit state xy, return. Let's see if we have an error in the console. Invalid prop. Type check failed for prop shot was expected. Got array. Why is that expected? Here. Prop array. Invalid prop. Where is it? Hold on. I'm getting a warning here. On prop shot list. Oh. Is it on this one? Shot list. Sorry, in the shot list component, instead of the bracket, does it want array? Okay, that seemed to be it. It didn't like the... Oh, because the type... the square brackets wasn't a type. That's like trying to initialize it as an empty string, and that's not at all what we wanted to do. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let me just click a couple other things. There we go. Okay. Hey, Bailey. Let's see. Alert danger. Shot hit equals true. Does not equal true. Okay. Yeah, sorry, that's the shot list. Let's go back to game board. It's going to be hit or miss. You know, I guess we should just echo out what the hit state is. Why not? No shot, no shot, no shot, no shot. All right. Oh, of course. Oh, I was so silly, so silly. This is not a the axes aren't numerical. The x-axis is and these aren't numbers anyways. It's a and a C and an H, and then these are not numbers, but I mean they're numbers, but they're also C1, 5, save. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Game board. We can comment this out. There we go. Cool. So our game board is now in sync with our shot list. And now all we're looking for is a way to populate our shot list. And then on top of that, then we need to put the game logic in. So hold on. Game board now using shot list rendering colors correctly. Let's see. Let's take just a progress screenshot there. All right. Where is okay. Cool. All right. Let's turn on our hold on. Wait a second. I'm just trying to save this screenshot. Speech. Okay. Okay. Well, let's get a couple of these two up here. And we can use the same thing. V if I guess we're going to use the check. And then what? Just a blank if it's... No. Maybe we just do the circle. Okay, let's see. Let's leave one of these commented for now. And then bring out the other one. So, okay. So we have that. Okay, here's the X that I wasn't going to necessarily use. If it's a hit, say save. Okay. So, and we have down here that it's 2. Let's make that nice and big. Okay, look at that. Boom. Okay. So that's a thing that's happening. Now for the misses, I mean, gosh, this is interesting. Do I use red for missing and green for success? I think we stick with red. It's a combat game. The original game uses red. That's fine. Let's see if we do a similar thing for miss. For miss, and let's just try a circle, I guess. Okay, there it is. Yay! Just an empty circle for a miss, a circle with an X. And then, I mean, if we wanted to, we could do this. It's a red check mark? Yeah, I guess. I don't know, I'm not in love with it. The X sort of makes sense. I'm trying to think like in other sorts of games. You're making progress towards something, you start Xing out, right? The X feels more military, right? Check. Yeah, I think we keep the X's. We can always change it back, right? This was pretty simple. Now, we can keep, I mean, this stuff's all debug information we have here, right? The hit state, there's the coordinates, the VF, I mean, that's pretty easy. We don't need to necessarily keep that there. There's not really going to be a reason to display that again. Okay. Let's see, adding icons to our game board. All right, I think our game board's pretty set. It's just gonna render, I mean, something is gonna have to keep track of where these boats are. And the interesting thing here is it's not gonna be necessarily the game board, it's gonna be our state object, right? Somewhere up here, right? We're gonna be keeping track of where the boats are. And when we do the turn and registering, did we hit or not, is the only time other boats really come into play. The game board itself isn't keeping that state information. It's just rendering whatever I pass to it. So, okay, do turn. Okay, can't repeat, right? I think it would be good to have. No, I don't think you need. Yeah, this is just a shot. Listen, I don't even have to do it as much as like saying, "Oh, you sunk my battleship," right? Like when you fill up the 3 things to say it's sunk. I mean, I guess you can. I mean, the shot loss could register that as a sink. I think this is fine. Let's just keep it simple. Let's get the audio working. Let's get the game logic working. It means the player's going to waste a couple extra shots because they're not going to know it was at the 2 length ship, the 3, the 4, etc. So let's just, I'm going to go into the README here for a second, and we're going to call this Poseidon's command. We're going to get rid of that. Okay. All right, and just we're gonna do some to-dos. All right, we're going to need to place ships, which means we're going to have to, I think we'll probably choose an orientation, right? Is it going to face up and down or side to side? Then we're going to find find an initial grid square, right, to place it in, and then place the ship. Find an initial grid square, and then we're going to have to make sure that's kind of a two-part thing, or I guess one part. Check to make sure the ship can fit. And I don't know that there's a combination that would block ships, right? I mean, maybe if you increase the number, there you could get to a point where you got too messy. But with the 5 ships, right, we do, right, it's a 2 length, a 3 length, what's it, 2 3s, a 4, and a 5, right? You have the destroyer, you have the sub, or sorry, the small one's the frigate, isn't it? Yeah. And then you have destroyer, and then you have the battleship, and then 5 is the carrier. Okay, and then you're going to place the ships, and then it's just going to be the game loop of speaking. We need an indicator for when the speaking should begin. I don't want this thing where it starts up and just starts recording you, right? There needs to be an initial button that says like begin, as well as a way to probably stop it. So let's see, a button to begin and end the recording. Or I guess you could call it the recognition. Button to begin, yes, it is speaking recognition. Okay. And then we simply need to, we need some function that can take the input and make sure it's a valid command, okay? So we need a way to validate the text coming from the speech, input to command, and after someone says something like A10, I wanted to prompt for a confirmation. That may be something I end up disabling if it's too repetitive. A4, confirm. B3, affirmative. C6, yes. It may be just be easier. A4, B3, right? And the only thing is, like, you're going to say the thing, it's going to try to show it, and I think I will code in the affirmative check, but I think allow maybe like a settings page. We'll leave it as a stretch goal. So stretch goals in here, double parentheses here, settings, and maybe we'll just also do the stretch for the prompt for confirmation. It may just be easier just to fire, right? Take as many turns, and even if we accidentally, whatever. It's not like anything's returning fire at this point. Okay. And then we do a check for what ships are out there. And I guess it wouldn't be a bad idea, like right below the shot list, you could have, just like in the game Battleship, you had the there was an image of each type of ship, as well as the number of pegs it would take, the number of hits it would take to destroy the ship. You could do something like that here, and that would be a nice confirmation. Oh, you some, yeah. I think I may do that. I'm gonna do this as a stretch goal, which is a ship hit list. Basically, just if it is sunk, update it. It won't get updated because you don't get told if you're hitting the carrier until you sink, until it's the final shot on the carrier. Okay. Okay, but also it's scalable then too. If you want to play with only 3 ships or 8 ships, you can have a nice dynamic list of ships. Okay, so I think this is a nice to-do list to go off of. Okay, updated README with outstanding functionality. Okay, let's see where we're at. So we're not going to start with placing the ships. I want to get the voice command working. So let's go into our home view. And our speech manager. And let's take the classes here. Let's turn it back on. Let's take the styling that we tried to do here. Save and go into our speech manager and try to update here what we wanted. Okay, so it's listening to me, printing out what it thinks I'm saying. I like that confidence bar. I think it'd be fun to render like a nice little progress bar or something like that. I think at this point it would confuse the users, but for debug, it's pretty nice. So I think for right now I'm just gonna hide it to show the confidence, so I can focus mostly on this next part. Let's go into the shot list section and we're just going to copy the top part of this header. Okay, so we have our card body, and then translate, transcript, recognition. So speech recognition event, transcript. I guess I'm going to put transcript. And this needs, what, an extra closing div, because now we have the card body. Yes. Transcript, great. Transcript, we don't need the alert. Let's do the H1. But, okay, this is almost like 2 parts. I don't want to this is almost like 2 different components. There's one that's just doing everything that I'm saying. And then there's another thing that, let's do this right here again. There's another thing that's determining if it's a valid move. So, transcript, turns taken, shot list. Cool. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. We are an hour and 40 minutes into coding this. Let's see. Okay, we are starting work on speech manager. And really, we know all the potential commands you could give, at least for shots, right? So whatever this, if I give a command like this, D4. Because I have the game board arrays, I know all 100 possibilities. And I could easily make sure that, to match case and everything, but I can make sure that the command is an actual square. And so that's what we'll need to do. So we have our speech recognition component, and then we have, I almost want to call it like the first mate or the radio operator or something like that, right? Because I want to keep this particular piece of code, and I guess it's really just this initialization, which just recognizing this and then passing it off. It's a block of, yeah, it's just this block, and I would prefer to have it somewhere other than the, well, whatever. I'll refactor that later. I'm not teaching it any grammar at the moment, so that's fine. Speech recognition, I'm not doing, it's the grammar, it's not even the grammar, so it's not even here. New speech recognition list, speech recognition list. Grammar list, speech recognition. I mean, I guess I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. I'm not teaching it any grammar at the moment. Continuous false, the language is US. We're not doing like the live transcript. This is using the Chrome speech recognition. And then it's just giving me the transcript. And then it's starting again. And this has it start from the, okay, so this is where we put our button. So let's go ahead and make a button of class btn, btn large, btn primary, and say begin. Let's leave it as begin. Let's see what that is. And let's go into our bootstrap icons and find a nice, something else. Yeah, there's begin. Let's go to our bootstrap icons and find a nice little microphone icon to fit in there. There we go. Mic. Just click that. It may look better solid, but I guess we can, let's fill if we want that. And let's give it a class of like H3 and text uppercase. Let's see what happens when we do this and put the mic next to it. Let's see, BG mic, I'm gonna get, is it dash fill or does the fill come before? There we go. I don't think that everything needs that font actually. But I will do text uppercase. Gosh, I'm not really in love with the font stuff on this. Let's do a margin end of 3. So we have a little bit more. There we go, a little bit more. Good. And let's do, let's just do a text center. Let's get this centered. BTN, BTN large. Okay. So I'm going to hit begin, and then that would, let's do this, at click equals begin, I guess recognition, recognition. Yeah. So this method is going to be begin And actually, a better way to do this would just be toggle recognition. And then this dot active equals the opposite of what it is. That is what a toggle is. A comma, and then we have one button. And then, do we have a mic with a line through it? Let's see. Now, sometimes I guess that can be mute, but I'll put like an end. Yep, it's called mic mute. Okay. Well, here, we'll maybe do we do 2 buttons or 1? I guess we'll do, yeah, let's do this. Do 2 buttons, text primary. That way I can control the class. That way it's not one button with a whole bunch of configuration. Just 2 buttons, easier to read. Mic, was it mic muted? Mic muted, Phil? Begin, stop. So it should be like start, stop, begin, end. So start, stop. Okay, begin. Mic. Okay, let's see what's going on with the mic. Mic mute, not muted. Mic mute fill and save. So now we have 2. It's saving and refreshing. There it is. Great. That's great, but now we only want to show one at a time. So V show, we show this if it is active, and we show this if we're not active. And I'm going to do active is to start out. Pretty easy. Context, comma. Okay, so here we go. It's going to show 1. So start. Let's see. Why did that? Active equals this. Active equals true, and active equals false. Let's see. Start. Okay. Toggle record. Oh, because I said toggle. And this is begin. And let's go back to the nice way of doing that. Active and exclamation point. Toggle, 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 toggle. Lovely. I guess, shoot. The other thing about this would be, okay, if active, we need to do this recognition start. Else, this recognition stop. And get rid of that. So it should not now run. Active is not defined. Oh, this dot active. This dot active. Yeah, just that. Okay. So now there's nothing running. Nothing to do. Right? But now if I do this and I hit start, and now it should be B4. Let's check our console, see what's going on, see why it's not working. Hey, Tets. I am building a voice command version of Battleship for a game jam this weekend. I had a library, a lot of on-end. Let's see. Let's try that again. Okay. If I hit start, B4. Okay. Panda. So, that's not a valid command, but it's just going to record everything I'm saying and put it up there on the game board. Great. G3. Yeah. So now we have to filter out all the things that I'm hearing that aren't those nice simple commands. And then if I hit stop, it should stop listening now. But it's not. Oh, because of this. On end, I need to do a if this is active, then restart. Otherwise, it should stay stopped. Okay, that should do it. Yep, there, and now it's shut off. Okay, let's try again. Check. Start. B3. So there's something there, but on end just goes nuts. Okay, we definitely need to fix that, because it's too much. B3. Test. Stop. Panda. It should just stay at test now. It shouldn't hear me anymore. Now if I hit start, it shouldn't. A10. That's okay. A10. So again, we're not going to get like 100%. Yikes, this isn't good that we're missing that much. A1. A2. A3. 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 Man, okay. It'll be interesting to see as we play which commands are harder. It may be fun to add in a couple that are like, one left, one up, one down, or northeast, southwest from the last previous hit. So once you find a ship, you can just be like, one east, to just work your way along there. I know Battleship's not played that way, but yeah, it'll just be interesting. Let's turn off that. Okay, we get our game board back to where we want. Okay. I guess the only thing we need to do now is really filter in that transcript box rather than print out everything I'm saying. We need to pass. Okay, yeah. This dot validate transcript. So we need to write a function. We're going to comment out context. I guess we'll keep context. And where's context is basically the raw so we'll just put transcript. Right. Transcript, and then up in our text box, where do we print out transcript? Boop, boop, boop. Transcript. And it doesn't need to be an H1 anymore. In fact, we'll make it text small. Oh, I have to hit start. Excuse me, start, don't I? B3. B4. Why not add a command like assistant or Siri when you have to trigger it with OK Google? Yeah, I could. The problem isn't the triggering. It's it knowing the difference between B numerical 4 and the word before, like as in before and after. Oh, I see. And I could just leave the thing on. I could just leave it on. Yeah, that may be something I end up doing rather than the stop start button. You could just hit start and it'd be like Battleship B3. Yeah. That's definitely a valuable, a valid. Oh, it's, you know what it's yelling at me for, and I realize why it's not running. because I said I was going to pass this to this function, validate transcript, and I have not written validate transcript. So let's write that, validate transcript. And then we're going to get in a value for transcript. And for right now, we're not going to do anything to it, or we have to, all right, we have to do something, otherwise the linter is going to yell at us. Transcript. All right. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? We need a curly bracket and a comma. All right. Ooh. Transcript. Transcript. There we go. All right. B3. Battleship. B3. I like cats. Sweet. So we are going to have a transcript, and then we're going to have a, I guess we're going to call it a command. That's just going to be what the validated. So we're going to do it like this, where the command is going to be nice and big, and the command is going to be one of, yeah, I think for right now, here, and we'll even do this. We'll just start right from the go. Oh, and yeah, after we set up all the bindings, we'll just start, and we'll just set this on the true. Active, we'll just have it true from the start. That's fine. I think it just needs to be clear. But you need to work when I talk. Here, let me refresh it. You need to work when I talk. Now, oh, there we go. Okay, good. It's listening. It's listening. This is going to be frustrating. This isn't going to be ideal. It's going to be fun, though. It's going to be a nice little, like, could you play Battleship by voice command? So, okay, I need to make sure that the command that I'm saying essentially, I guess is essentially what you want to do. The easiest way to do this to start out with is to map, is the transcript essentially 2 characters? And then take the first character, and that's your X, and the second character, and that's your Y. So that is how we shall start it. So, okay, so there's our console. Let's, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to be setting command, and then we have to emit the command up to the main game, and then that's going to put that into the do turn function, registered as a shot, which is going to update the shot list and update the board. Okay, and then that's, right, if we go back to our README and go down our list of to-dos, we have to handle the input. Once we've handled input, we've already rigged up shot list and the game board to be dynamic. Those things are ready to go. So then the only other part is the function that determines whether you've hit all the ships. And of course, a function to place the ships. So, okay. So at least when in the next few minutes, all we're going to be doing is registering misses, because we do not have any ships on the board. Okay, so validate shot. Let's see. Okay. If transcript, let's see. Get transcript. I can treat a string like an array, I believe. Oh, it can't be more than 2. It can't be more than 2 characters because of 10, right? Yeah. So if transcript.length is greater than 3, 2, right, 0, no, 1, 1, 2, 3, yeah, it's greater than 3, then we're just going to return. this dot command. Just we should probably set this dot command to be blank at the beginning, and then we're going to exit if what we've heard is too long. Okay. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna let x equal transcript dot, I guess, the 0 element of that. Excuse me. And then let y equal transcript dot 1, and then I guess y. I guess we'll do a string literal, right? So, because in the case of 10, you'll want to get that other 0. So, what do? We do that, then we do that, then we do that, and I guess, what do? I guess I just do a question mark if it's available. I'm getting kind of tired. I'm getting kind of slow. So let's test this first. This dot command equals x y. Okay, let's at least see if we can get a basic coordinate to filter through here. All right. B3, A2, two undefined. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Oh. It was too short. All right. And transcript length is less than 2 or greater than 3. So if I just said 2, 2, 2, 2. Now it doesn't want it. Now it doesn't like me. Okay, let's refresh. 2, 2, 1, 5. All right. No, it's just ignoring me. Let's see. 2, 1, 5. No, see. This is imperfect technology. 2, 2, 2. B2. Okay. G9. H7. Okay. The next way to do this is, of course, I'm just going to do this nice and quick. Where x is x, was it 2 uppercase? Hold on. JavaScript uppercase, 2 uppercase. Okay. 2 uppercase. This is to make sure when I want to compare the command, and then y is just going to be a number, so that's fine. 2 uppercase. X has to fit in, so yeah, 2 uppercase, and then I'm going to have to say if x, hold on. I'm going to put these right here, I guess. Let x-axis, let y-axis equals, colon, let x-axis includes x, right? So we're going to search through the x-axis to make sure that the letter, because I could say like Z1. Is it not listening to me now? It doesn't like it when I do the coding because the game live updates. And sometimes I do things that it doesn't like. Also, it doesn't like that I'm streaming. We would prefer I not divert resources to streaming. If the access includes, I guess if it doesn't include, then we need to return false, right? If you can't give it something outside the range of the board. And the same thing with the Y. Y we're not going to have to uppercase. It's just going to make a comparison. All right. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a refresh. A1. A1. This thing is hogging up some resources. I think it's getting a bit sluggish. I may have to restart here eventually. Yeah, that on end is just going nuts. 91 and 102. 91, 102 on end. On end is restarting it immediately. Well, because if I don't, it just results. Okay, I gotta figure out. And there's definitely some sort of loop thing going on there that I have to fix before we can release this. But A1. Stop. A1. Okay. G2. T3. Yeah, so there, it registered it as the transcript, but not as the command, okay? Let's see. A0. So, again, registered it as command, but 0 is not part of our array, so that's fine. The thing I have to try to figure out is 10. So, and then basically you're just if whatever transcript length equals 3. There's definitely a better way to do this with the checks, but I'm just gonna do this. Oh, I'm silly. I shouldn't even do this. I should just let y equal whatever the remainder is after we pop off the first character. Okay. Basically substring, right, to the length. Yeah, that's what I want. So I want to simply ignore the first character. Substring of 1 to transcript length. Is that correct? That should do it. See, now it's doing that on-end thing endlessly. I may need to put some sort of delay in there for when I restart, so it's not doing that. A1, A10, A11, B11, B10. All right. It's the audio isn't doing this, like, it's not correct every time, but our ability to filter the commands definitely works. So let's go ahead and save it. I2, I2, I1, That's a tough one. I1. I1. Okay, so this is where we are going to have to put in some extra rules eventually here. I'm just going to comment out 1 is 1, and let's say numerical 1 is WON, B4 is B4, right? So there's going to be some other cases around this, like, you know, D1. Yeah, but so I2. Yeah, so the I column, because I is a word, it's going to think, you know, like I3. I3. I4. And we have to remove some of those dashes. Okay, so remove dashes. We can do that with a regex. I2 is 1. I1. 2 is 2. I2. Okay, good. We're just going to record some of these exceptions. And then there's the on end. There it goes. Something stops and then it just goes in a crazy loop. So maybe I'll just set a timeout. Set timeout of, yeah. Not exactly sure what's going on here, but man, when it stops, it just is in this endless loop of on end. Look at that. Test. Test. I'm going to have to keep track of the on end. I think I can do this. I need to keep track of when this event fires, this on end fires. I keep track of it. If it happens too much, it needs to definitely not start again, because then it's immediately stopping, and I need to inform the user of that. Okay. I'm just going to shorten this down a little bit so you guys can see the game board. Okay, awesome. Let's see. Well, do we have any unsafe changes? Yes, the speech manager. What did we change in the speech manager just now? The extra notes. Okay. Adding extra notes about exceptions. All right. All right. There we go. Alright, let's grab a couple of these things. Now we just need to pass it up. We just need to emit the event up to the shot list, right? If it's validated, great. Command is this, and then it's going to be this $ emit. Then I guess it's what, do shot, yeah, or do turn. I guess is the function we have. Do turn. And we're going to pass an object where x is x and y is y. Now, we don't know if we've hit anything yet. We just know that we're firing. Oh, of course. Of course. We need to make sure that we haven't... All right, okay. This command... I'm trying to think of where we put the code for... On error abort. On error abort. Okay. We're going to do this. I'm going to refresh this. There's an on error abort. So on error. And the error was abort. So we're going to write a function of value here. This dot error or abort. equals true. And here, we're not going to start if active and this dot abort is false. That should hopefully stop this crazy loop thing from happening. And we just need to put this in here. Abort is false. Okay, so now when it hits an error, at least it won't go through. And I guess we'll do this. We will add a big thing up at the top. H1 class, or yeah, we don't even need a class. We'll just do abort H1. And we'll just do a V show on abort. There we go. So now when we're looking at this, if we've hit an error, okay, that's not funny. Are we already hitting the abort? Yeah, let me refresh. Okay. Yeah, okay, here we go. So if it hits an error, we'll get the big abort. Let's, I don't know, class text danger. That will at least give us some red text, easier to see. Okay. Cool. Oh, there it is, abort. Oh, on error, no speech. On speech end. Okay, but it registered the error of, well, now what, if I talk, it's just not gonna, okay. And if aborted was true, then I'm gonna also set this active equals false. So I can reset it if I need. Okay, so I'm gonna restart. So, okay, are you listening to me now? Good. I'll wait to see if abort pops up, and when it does, it should flip our stop button back to a start button. It should not enter an endless loop and should allow me to restart it when I want. Cool. All right. I mean, this thing's not going to be perfect. But if I can at least get rid of like some glaring errors, then users won't, quit 10 seconds into the game. Working on, what is this? The recognition logic. I guess that would. Okay. And you know what? A big part of why it could be breaking is literally because of Webpack. Like, my development environment in Vue is trying to update this page without refreshing, like every time I save. And we could be breaking something there that a user would never encounter in production, right? Because they would load up the game and it would always be that. Versus right now, that page is loaded and then it's sort of like hot reloading without actually refreshing the page when I change code. So that could be a bug purely related to development. Not sure yet, right? We won't know until we actually hit production. When we launch this and try it a whole bunch, then we'll see, hey, are people actually encountering any such bug? Okay, so let's do home. So our speech manager is going to be do turn equals do turn with $sign event. Do turn gets an X and a Y. I think I need to just do, I'm going to do shot, and then I'm going to do shot.x, shot.y, and I think for right now I'm just going to register every hit as false. Okay, I think we're, oh, what is yelling at me? Because I forgot the double quotes. How long do you have to finish? I mean, it's kind of like, it's a game jam. I guess it ends tomorrow. I could probably finish this thing tonight. couple more hours. Let's see, I've been at this, the stream and the recording are now at 2 hours, 20 minutes. So this is pretty much what I pulled off in 2 hours, everything you see. What did I have before at the very start of the scene? I guess at the very start of the scene of the stream, I had the just the loops to render the game board, which just those little blue boxes, and the basic part of speech recognition, which is pretty much just copy paste example from a documentation site from Mozilla. But everything else we've done here now in 2 hours, and so all I have to do now, what we're about to test now, is registering hits. The only other part of that is randomly placing boats, and then randomly placing ships, and then determining when all ships have been hit, and we're done. So I may just go for it, finish it tonight. B3. Okay, you see that? We totally just registered a new hit. Holy shit. F3. F6. F6. G6. I10. You know what? I wonder, I bet it's putting the dashes in there because colloquially, when we say I in a number, we mean interstate. And I bet this Google freaking Translate thing, I mean, this is running off Chrome. It's running off your Chrome browser. It's picking up on that if you say I in a number, it's probably thinking you're trying to talk interstate. That's so funny. So I need to take out the dashes when I detect a dash. B6. B4. No, that's definitely not going to work. A8. A8. 1/8. Interesting. E3. E3. It would also be fun to put in a couple extra commands like echo, like that would be interesting. I wonder if we put in the phonetic alphabet from the military, that this would be easier. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, Golf, Hotel, India. Oh, what is J? Is it July? Is it? Part of me wants to say like it's Julius for Julius Caesar. Oh, what the fuck is J? How did I forget J? Military alphabet. J. Juliet. Okay. July. First 3 letters. That would be interesting. Hold on. Alpha. Alpha. Beta. Charlie. Delta. Echo. Foxtrot. Foxtrot. Golf. Hotel. India. Juliet. Yeah, that could work. That would actually get around a lot of these issues, and it would fit more with the whole. If naval warfare was just placed on a big grid like this. Okay, so now can I say something like Alpha 3? Okay, it says it right there. Hold on. Charlie 2. Okay. Golf 8. Fuck it. This is totally working. All right. Okay. Totally working. I think the concern with that would be people named Charlie. Hold on. It is Charlie, though, right? Yeah, it is Charlie. Sorry. I think the concern would be people named Charlie. What do you mean? What's the concern? C2. C3. C4. C5. C6. C7. C8. That's too cool. That's too cool. Yeah. Make some coffee, right? That's. Wouldn't it pick up nearby idle conversation? Oh, man. Listen, you're right. If it did, if you were in a place where your mic was, I mean, first off, you wouldn't be playing a voice activated game in a crowded place. Like, this is purely for the novelty of testing out this technology. Yes, if this picked up idle conversation, this whole thing would be screwed. So I'm going with the assumption that you have the means to give the API for this is interesting. It can detect when there's sound, like it'll start picking up, like it'll start listening for sound, but it doesn't. It can tell the difference, or at least it can start registering the difference between speech and sound. So if you have a fan or a car drives by, it won't necessarily register that as speech. So it's just interesting. It's a pretty interesting technology. And this is just built into the Chrome browser, so we don't have to download anything. Oh, cool! There's our shot list. Yeah, our shot list is getting pretty long there. Oh, am I adding? I'm adding to the. I want to shoot. I meant to do this the other way. It's not push, but unshift. I want to add to the top. Here, we're going to save. It's going to reset the board, or maybe not. J2. I'm going to refresh it. J2. Hold on. I did this backwards, didn't I? Yep. Hold on. We don't want to necessarily, we want to add to the bottom of the array. But when it comes to rendering out our shot list, we want to reverse it. So this is a perfect example of a computed property. And we're going to call it reverse list. And it's going to be just returned, what is it, shot list dot reverse. Is that the built-in? I'm just going to imagine there's a built-in, shot list is not defined. This is a built-in feature called reverse list computed right there. Mutation. Oh, it can't. Huh. Let's see, if I do a ... it should do that for me. What do you, it's angry at me now. Hold on. Yeah, I can't do the expand one. What we need to do is we need a computed init let list equal shot list. And then we do a reverse on list. Save. Well, this dot shot list. Are you gonna be happy about that? This game doesn't like me very much anymore. Let's see. Save. Refresh. What are you yelling about? Good. Shot 1, 2. Oh, ho, ho. And now here's our problem with the. So I is not +1. All right. Fuck. Shot 1 I want to happen at the bottom, right? I don't know why I'm making this change. Well, because after a while you won't be able to see what your latest shots are, right? Because the thing's going to scroll down past you. So it's not going to be, so I is going to be 1. So what we really want to do is something like reverse list dot length, I don't know, minus I. Is that what we're doing? 3, 2, 1. There we go. Look at that. Now we got our shot list in reverse. And so F3. F3. F4. F4. Man, some of these ones are just easier to do than others. A2. Alpha 3. Alpha 3. It says Elsa. Some some of the time, which is funny. Okay. So our speech manager, shoot, we're gonna have to do something, I guess. Validate transcript is gonna do a couple things. If I do, okay, delta 1. Delta 1. Okay. Ooh, and the numerical way, the spelling out of 1. Man, there's a whole bunch. Okay, so some stretch goals. Implement the phonetic, just implement the phonetic alphabet. And then 1 instead of 1 is 1. Right? Okay. Good. We have some, but we do have shots recording. Okay. Shots, not shorts, shots recording. All right. This is a Google API. It's actually, so yes and no. It's not sending the data to Google and then giving it back. I don't see any network traffic about that. It's a Chrome feature, so by extension Google, right? It's an API built into the browser itself. I think honestly because, I mean, it'd be interesting to turn off the Wi-Fi. Here's the thing. If I was to disconnect from the internet, would the speech recognition still work? And that would answer the question of what's actually recognizing and translating speech to text. Is it a Google server? And if so, then you have concerns about privacy, right? That you're sending all your, like, you know, just like any sort of microphone, is it sending it to Google? Right, but I know you can train Google Assistant to your speech patterns for better clarity. And yes, you can with this. You can actually train this. You can give it grammar rules and stuff like that. I've kind of turned all that off just to get the basic implementation in. But I do believe there are some things, and it would be cool to pick it up to like integrate this with some other tool like Google Assistant or something like that. Yeah, but I think right now this is just a Chrome feature. A couple built-in libraries here: speech recognition, speech grammar list, and speech recognition event. Okay, so cool. This is totally working. Let's place some chips. Let's just go to. Let's just chips, and I'm just gonna put in a simple X is. I think B was working out really well. B, and we'll just do Y is B. Is B working? Let's see. B7. B7. That's D7. See, and this is why I wanted to confirm. D5. D5. Cool. I think we're doing the D column. Okay. And I think we're going to just mark these as false. And then our win condition is actually really freaking easy. Our win condition is, okay, so there's all your shot logs. Okay. What we want is this. Let hits equal our shot list to filter. I mean, what you can do is you can count the total number of, okay, the quickest way to do this may actually just be take the length of the ships array and compare it to the lengths of hits that you have in the shot list. That's really rudimentary and real simple. I would like it to be a little bit more like that you actually confirmed. But no, I mean, maybe, whatever. That freaking works. That works. Shot. Okay, so shot X equals, oh, it's not even, we don't even comparing it. We're just doing the shit. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a reducer. A better way to do that would be to do a reducer, right? A reducer would EX6 reducer. A reducer would just count that down to a number, right? Now this is fine too. I'll do this for now. So that's the number of hits, and then that's the number of ships. If hits dot length, so the total numbers we have, equals the ships dot length, then we've hit everything, and this dot, I don't know, we'll do game over is true. We'll just do that for right now so we can at least say we implemented a win condition. Game over is currently false. And if game over, here we do. We'll do a v show on, actually, shut the whole, no, yeah, we'll do a v show if, sorry, not game over. And we'll just do a nice div v show game over. And we'll just do a nice h1 and we'll do game over. Just to say that we got this working. Ship the down here, it needs to be this, right? This dot ships and this dot shot list. All right, here we go. D3, D4, D5. Oh, that's funny, because I didn't actually put in the condition for whether or not we were hitting it. Okay. We do it like this. This ships filter ship. Ship.x equals shot.x and ship.y equals shot.y. Okay, and then excuse me, let hit equal this ship's length. So either it's going to be a positive. Oh, and then I guess I want to cast it the Boolean. What am I doing? Hold on. JavaScript cast Boolean. How can I convert a string? No, it's either going to be a number or convert a number to Boolean. Yeah. Just show me the simple freaking. Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's not that I wrapped the wrong thing in the parentheses. It's Boolean. There, and I wrapped the length. So it's either going to be 0, which is going to be Boolean false, or any number will be Boolean true. And then I put hit as hit. So now we're registering hits and misses. And just to make sure we can actually do this, I'm going to put in two ship spots. Okay, and I've got a wrong, what's going on here? Hold on, save. Okay, this is linting, and then the game board should render, and then we need to refresh. Man, okay. Resources are slow on this little computer right now. Save. Oh, that's not the right thing. Save. There we go. Oh. Man, what the hell happened? When the computer is slow, VS Code, put in some other shit. Why is it wrapping? I don't like how it's wrapping up. That's it, but okay. D3, D4. That shouldn't have happened. D4 was not the... Hold on. Did that just do it because I just did another, like, 2 shots? Hold on. A1. Well, that's not right. A1's not. So it's registering everything as a hit. This ship. Oh my god. Well, I'm filtering, but I'm not. Okay. Let did hit. And we just do did hit. There we go. Okay. Now let's try. D3. D2. D4. D5. Game over. Our logic to end the game wins, or works. Our logic to register hits and misses work. Okay, let's go back. I'm going to save where we are, and I need... Okay, logic for hits, misses, win, condition, all work. We are now 2 hours, 40 minutes into this. Let's see. Okay. We're going to look at our README file and see what else we wanted to work on. I mean, we have to place the ships randomly, of course. But speaking, indicate when speaking, for when the speaking should begin, button to begin, and so that is, we did that. Indicate for when speaking should begin. I guess we did that. An indicator, yeah. I mean, I guess it's, yeah. Validate input command. We did that in a rudimentary way. You have to sort of say it right. There's probably some squares that it's just sort of impossible to say at the moment. And that's whatever. Prompting for confirmation. Maybe do setting the phonetic alphabet would be cool. Where did I put that? Here? Yeah, I'm just going to copy this and bring it over here to the README. So we have that there. The ship hit list, and if it's sunk or updated. So that might be nice on the combo here. I'm going to refresh the game here. I also noticed that since we put in that interesting, we haven't seen that infinite loop thing happen in the last like 10, 15 minutes, which is nice. I'm not having any problems with the, yeah, interesting. Okay. I'm hopeful. So speaking's pretty much done. Placing the ships need to be done. Once we place the ships, then the game can be played. So another thing we should just do here, and we don't need a starting shot list anymore. We now have the ability to... So we can do this in a couple ways. I can either do a progress bar, just saying how many things are out there, or I kind of like the idea of below the shot list, or maybe above the shot list, or something like that. Little indicators of the ships, or maybe below the game board, right? 2 circles, 3 circles. Yeah, that might be cool. Show progression. Oh, that'll be extra. Okay, let's just place the ships and then we can be done for the night. That would be exciting. Let's not get too fancy. Let's just place the goddamn ships. So we need a little bit of state information. Hold on. The README, the source, the view, the home. We are, what are we doing? Removing testing information from shot list. And I think, well, I'm going to leave the small text in the transcript there for now. Okay, so when the game starts, and of course you should be able to reset the game. So let's do this. Let's write an init function, and we'll call it when the game first boots up, it'll call. But then we'll have the same thing happen if on the game over page you want to play. Yeah, I could totally scope creep this, right? Just like, and you could save a high score somewhere or something like that, right? Okay. So let's see. Okay, so the initialization, what do we want to set? We need to clear out our shot list. We need to reset ships, so place ships. And if we get to a settings page, this could be a number where we put in some array of how many different ships we want, or something like that. Place ships. This dot. What are we doing? Oh, this dot game over. We need to make the game not over. This dot game over is false. Okay, shot list is cleared out, ships is cleared out, and the moment we clear out our shot list, the board resets because the board rendering is purely a render of the shots. So the moment we delete that array of data, the moment the board just resets, which is real nice. Turns taken is rendered off of shot list, so really the game is just shot list, or just all the shot data there. And then so I guess we just need to regenerate ships. All right, so there's the init. So on mounted, it's going to call init, and then on the game over screen. Yeah, I'm just going to show that for a second, so we can just show it. This game board is angry at me a little bit. Game over. Let's pretty that up a little bit. Div class alert success, because again there's no way to lose this game. Text center, there's no one firing back at you. You're playing against yourself for the high score. I opened up a div. Okay, so boom, game over. H1. And I guess then we want to drop in a button to class btn large, btn success, text uppercase. Yeah, because we got start, stop, and then I guess you like what? Like restart, whatever. We'll do, yeah, well, we don't need to type it in uppercase. That's why we have the class. And then we just close down button. All right. High scores is least moves to victory. Yeah, basically, right? Your best case scenario is if you were to hit every ship head on, right? So 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, right? But you could keep track of that in your high scores. It could also be interesting. You could put a time component in here, and then you could sort of average or not average the two, but you could also use the two as well, right? How quickly could you find the ships? How least amount of actions does it take to find the ships, and then both, right? Sort of average it. How many hits per second were you scoring? Something like that. There's a bunch of people now in the chat. Cool. I have no idea who any of you are except for Tats, which is awesome. Okay. But welcome and enjoy a voice command battleship. Right? B3. Oh, I should actually make sure that this part still works. Hold on. Oh, I wonder if it's yelling at me because it probably is. Yep, because the play ships doesn't exist yet. So I'm going to comment that out. I just want to make sure this is still working. A1. Oh, that's interesting that it did register it nicely. A1. Oh, hold on. Come on. What's going on now? B2. Okay, there we go. There you go. A1. Yeah, okay, good. Man, I think I'm just gonna have to put part of the instructions is just to restart this thing if it starts getting whatever. The nice thing is I can put in tomorrow. I can save the game board to the browser. It's the equivalent of like a cookie, but it's not a cookie. It's your browser storage, so that if you were to refresh the game, it's not going to lose your data, right? So you could actually close the browser and come back and continue playing if you wanted. And so that would get around any sort of user. It would reduce the inconvenience for the player for how much you have to restart this thing because the audio screws up. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. Hold on. I'm going to see if I have anything else I could close down for additional resources. What is this? Delete that. Delete that. Okay. We did that. We did that. Okay. All right. So, place ships. Okay, so now we do need to rate the place ships. Okay. Sorry. Place ships. I mean, really, we're just going to be putting stuff into the array, right? This ship.array. We need to randomly. Okay, so in the README, I kind of explained this. You need to select an orientation, horizontal or vertical. Find the initial placement, and then see if the ship will fit. So. There's going to be a lot of like random selection, and then seeing if something's available. Have the game place them in order, largest to smallest. Yeah, check for a lot. Yeah, yeah. It's gonna place it, and then you kind of your game board is essentially you have like almost two boards, right? You have one which is just a list of shots, and another one that's just a list of essentially ships. So I guess we just select. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I'm going to grab the array list from, is it game board? Yeah, and so this is a bit of duplication. This thing is now in game board, it's in speech manager, and now it's right here, and that's fine. Fine, place ships. All right, so this is our, right, x-axis and y-axis. Let y-axis equal. Right, now what we want to do is JavaScript random number. And this would be fun. This would be fun to put sort of that like seeding logic, so that if you put like game 8, it's game 8 every time. The ships are always there every time. Maybe I'll look into that tomorrow. Let's see. Math random math. Okay. I guess we'll do something like this. We're going to floor the math random to the max, and the max is going to be the x-axis dot length. Is it length minus 1? I guess we'll find out. Can this ever equal 0? Yeah. I guess we'll find out. I think I'll just console all this. think we'll do this here. I'm getting real tired, so I'm just gonna kind of brute force this. Make sure it's not. This is gonna randomly slow. Oh, look, abort! Look at that. The abort worked. And yeah, I think the errors that we were having with the audio was probably connected to the live upload. Okay, so here we go. Perfect, right there. 480823336. Great. Okay, great. I think I say great like 8 times right there. So we just need, that's going to be one of our x's. Or let's see, that'll be let x index. Let y index. So now we have at least a coordinate, and now it's going to be let x equals x axis at x index, right? Because we got to get the letter. And then y is going to be y index off the y axis. I have y axis right there. So now I have let, okay. So, see, if I had a function, yeah, I'm going to totally do this. Was hit. Yeah, was hit. And we're going to take a shot. And we're going to take this ships and shot. Yep. Was hit. Ship. No, that's not what I want. Was hit. What does was hit do? It takes a coordinate and basically finds out if a ship was there. So it's not, the function isn't was hit. It should be has ship. Does that coordinate have a ship? And so the variable isn't shot, but rather coordinate. And chord, and then we're basically returning. Yep, we're returning a true false. Right? And so this is going to be, hit is really simply has ship at shot. But it allows us to now use has ship. It should be this has ship. As we're placing these ships, this is how we're checking for the overlap, right? It's not that we're shooting at it, so we're not adding to the shot list, but we are saying, basically, let chord, we're creating a coordinate. X is X, Y is Y, and let taken equals this dot has ship at that coordinate. So there we go. And then if not taken, then this dot ships dot push coordinate. That just put a ship somewhere. And I have no freaking clue where. Let's render out just right here, ships. And let's empty our ships array so we know that our populating function works. There it is. There it is. A4. Cool. A4. A4. Game over. Cool. Let's restart. Oh, did I break something? Did I not hook up the restart button? I didn't hit. Okay. At click. It should be init, right? Init is what I want. Yeah. Okay. So when I click the button, it should init. Okay. Here you go. Oh, now it's got two, but oh, it did clear out the ship list. It's just oh, that's a fun way to, I don't know. So the shot list needs to clear. Oh, because place ships currently isn't. It's not removing the ships. Now it will. Okay. D10. D10. Shoot, it's got the dash in there. D10. D10. Okay. We're going to keep getting caught up on this until I fix it in the speech manager. Okay. Transcript equals transcript. Let's see. I'm not super good with regex, so we're just going to do a search and replace. We're going to replace the dash with nothing. Or a space. No, we don't want a space. Oh, that's something else to call out. We don't want any spaces in here. Unless we do the phonetic thing, then we'll have to check for that. Okay, here we go. D10. Boom, game over. Let's restart. D6. D6. Boom, game over. Haha, it's working. Let's put more than one ship out there, and we need to, of course, increase the length of the ship. So that, oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong. Okay, hold on. Man, I'm starting to lose my voice. I've been talking for 3 hours. Okay, what did we do? We added a random ship starting location. Need to get some water or something to drink. All right. I'm going to be, I guess I'll be back in a second. I guess I'll take a break for a minute. This is pretty good. Where's our, hold on, I'm going to go to home for a second. I want to do this. Div, class, alert, warning. And then we're going to wrap it in a pre-tag, text left, text start, close the pre-tag, close the div, and that will make these coordinates I'm trying to, yeah, there we go. H8. Okay. C6. Oh, I thought I said C6. Great, fantastic. C6. No, not sex. This is, oh boy. All right, see you, Tets. Going to bed. Yep, I'll check in on the Discord every now and then. C6. 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 Okay. Cool. You just have to repeat it a few times. Okay. Okay, here we go. Where are we at now? We're working on the home view. Just made the commit. Ship list debug box. It's not a component, it's just rendering out the data on the oh, but abort happened. Now we're not endlessly okay, but I say so hit start. Test. Okay, good. That worked. So we hit abort. Oh, but then I need abort to go away when it is started. So let's go to speech manager. This dot active, this dot abort equals false. Let's get that abort to toggle away. There you go. Okay, let's do another commit in there. Hide abort. Okay, man, I'm not doing this. Git commit. Okay. All right, all right. So let's just say H3. H3. Cool. H5. Okay. Good to see that working. Now we want, oh, our game over is showing all the time now because I just wanted to style a little bit. Now that it's been styled, we'll do, it doesn't need to, game over is such a negative sort of like, you'd be like, we'll call it victory, and we'll call it the victory screen, right? Game over. Well, we'll leave the variable game over, that's fine. Click, oh, let's see, the div, we get rid of that div and this div, and we do a vf v show victory. Okay. V show victory, and we'll copy that there, and we'll we're just going to replace wherever we saw game over. Victory. Save, save, save. Place ships, and if I happen to call place ships more than once, it should place, what, 3 of them? There we go. C10, C9, A5, A10, A9, A2, A2, A3, A3. So that was all of them. Why did I... Oh, victory down there. Oh, because I have this up here as... Here we go. It'll hide as soon as I do this. Bam. Victory. Okay. Restart. D6. A8. A8. A7. A7. This is where the phonetic alphabet will really help. Okay. What do we want to... Okay. Toggling victory screen complete. Now it's just placing the votes. Oh, we got the abort. Start. There we go. Whew. Okay. So place a ship. I guess I could just do place ship, and the length. Ship length. Okay. So ship length 2, ship length 3, ship length 4. And then what it should do is when it picks one, if that was taken, it's almost like we need to make sure, well, the easiest way to do this, if it was taken, just recursively find another one. If that one particular spot is taken, find another one. I wonder. There's probably a recursive thing here as well, where if you pick initial spot, you need to check a couple more over. But let's, I guess let's just brute force this for right now. If that one spot's not taken, check for the spot next to it, I guess, right? This, I guess so. Yeah, there's definitely a smoother way to do this right now. But I'm losing my voice. If taken, I guess it's because we have the X index up there, so we want to check. Oh, I guess we could do this. Taken. Okay, 4, X, 4, is it ship length? Ship, okay, I think I got this. 4, I equals 0, I is less than ship length. We need to make sure that basically what we're going to do is we're going to be checking along after wherever our first spot is, that first coordinate. We're going to be adjusting our coordinate and then checking again. So, so we're going to say like new X equals X index plus I, and then we're going to create a new chord. So we can actually do this from the very start, because the first one will be 0, so that's actually going to be this. So we can actually just call this X. If X, if Y, okay, we do the whole thing within the loop. Y index plus, well, in this case, we're not shifting the Y index. We need to make sure that if X is greater than X-axis length, we need to break out of this. We need to just be done. It's not going to work, right? We have to start all over. If the thing that's been selected, or if we go too far. Okay. Yeah. We just need to generate the chords. We need to check all the chords. Then we do a placement. We do one big check. Okay. We're going to validate the placement. And then we're going to place the ship. So let's see. Y is Y. So we're going to get rid of this. Bring the chord part down here. And the taken part here. And simply you can't, I messed up something. X equals, yep, the definition of X and Y. Hold on. Yep, right there. Let all of this. It'll be X index equals S index plus 1. No, not plus 1, but plus I. And then you do this, where basically we're outside the bounds of it, and we just got to stop. Okay. If taken, then we also just got to stop. this is like a temp mod, right? Because we never want to actually redefine x index. Okay, x index, let place chord, let chord, and then we just need to see if it's hit. Let taken equals this dot. Where is it? Has ship chord. Okay, and then if it's not, so we can get rid of this. If we actually get this far, then we place the ship, which is simply the same loop, except, yep, and we're regenerating the chord. So this right here is some code that we could have, yeah, we're going to generate that. And then this ship push chord. Let's generate a 3 character long ship. Let's just see this work. I is not defined. Let. Let's refresh. If we do this, then we're done for the night. This is it. This place ships is not a function. This place ships. This place ships. Place ship. Place ship. Place ship. Of a length of 3. Push. Ships is plural. There it is. H9. I9. J9. Vector. Restart. Yep. Here. And we can place. Alright, we got it. Let's do a 4 length, a 3 length, and a 2 length. We just hit save. There's the ships. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Alright. Awesome. Well, that is it for now. That was almost 3.5 hours of talking and streaming. So we created a voice command version of Battleship. That is essentially done. I can randomly place horizontal ships at the moment. The only thing I would need to do if I wanted to get them vertical is this right here where I'm generating the temp. I would just do that on the Y. Cool. All right. Thank you all for watching. I'll upload this to YouTube later so it's recorded. All right. Good night.